It's not raining.
Nice spotty ears.
I like living in the countryside.
I wanted to have a bit of space for beasties, really. I mean, I like to keep pet sheep. It's so nice just to be able to like go out and take a stroll in the field. Because you can't really be stressed out around sheep.
Morning, Jerry.
I put up with the rain. I like there being a local pub to go to, a country pub. It's like a focus of the community.
Jeff's always just made peace, I think, with living in the sideline. This gentle, suburban, modest sort of lifestyle where like his greatest indulgence is sheep, or like llamas, having, you know, this handful of animal companions.
Morning, madam.
The whole llama thing came about basically because there was a book that my parents had, one of these Time Life books about South America, and it had a nice illustration of a llama in it, and I like the look of the llama. It's like an interesting beastie, and I used to reference it in some of my early work. When I was actually thinking of a name for the software company, I'd written a little program on the VIC-20 which effectively let me draw on a little square of characters. I could draw like a little high-res display, little high-res designs in there. I drew this little llama in there, and I wrote underneath it LlamaSoft with 3 exclamation marks after it. I thought, that's what I'm going to call my software company. It's going to be called LlamaSoft.
For me, video games at the time were very insular. They were just these products that were getting shoveled through the shops. Jeff was different because he was in magazines talking about his life. He was talking about what interests him, what was different about the way he approached it. He was engaging with people directly. Everyone else was just a company or a product. And Jeff was passionate about the art of making games, being himself. And if people like to pay him money to do that, fantastic.
The way he dressed, it looked a bit rock starish and hippie-ish as well, which very different from the other programmers that we met at those times. Very, very different. And that stuff was always communicated directly to his fans. It was part of what you were buying, I think.
There's an independence in there, there's a spirit in there, which I love. And you do get some film directors who write and edit and shoot, but they're the rarities. And Jeff fits into that sort of category where he is closely bound to not just the medium, but also the means of expressing through that medium. You can't imagine him working with anybody else because he's too synchronized with it, to accommodate other people being involved.
But it was getting to the point where you need more than one person to do this stuff, really.
In terms of finding like-minded people, he's found it really hard.
Giles was knowledgeable about the systems which I'd known, which made me think that he would have the technical capabilities to do the kind of work which we end up doing.
He suddenly went from being him to being a team, which must have been quite strange.
I would have to say entering Jeff's world, the whole of Jeff's world from my background was really a big cultural shock in a way.